Well, it's good to be back. Nice wee break last week. Fully recharged, ready to rock and roll once again. Welcome back, guys. It's good to be back with you. Well. Finally, and I say that, finally, I'm back. After a break. Welcome back to the Moore Army podcast, guys, for, since the last time I put a podcast out was about 10 days ago. So, yes, hello, welcome back to another episode of the Moore Army podcast, Unleashed. This is the 31st episode of the Unleashed version. I've done other versions before, as you know, so I don't know how many I've done. I think I've maybe done about 50 podcasts already or something like that. But anyway, yes, I am back. I've had a period of time off, should we say, which was not planned. As you all know, I was away last week in England for a few days with Lewis, my son, and I did take podcast gear with me to record onto and edit and stuff, but if you probably watched my YouTube channel over the last week or so, Lewis and I haven't hardly been home the last week or so, to be quite honest with you. I think I've slept in my own bed about 3 times out of the last, I don't know how many days. But I want to apologise for no podcast last week at all. It was supposed to be recorded, and it didn't happen. But anyway, yes, I'm back now. The gears are in motion. I'm fully on the road now. Tuesdays and Thursdays are back. No more excuses. I am back for on the Moore Army podcast, Tuesdays and Thursdays. So here we go. Anyway, yes, I hope you are all keeping well out there. Thank you so much for all your questions over the last week or so. All your contact, people thinking I fell off the planet. People who don't watch my YouTube channel but listen to the podcast literally thought I'd fell off the planet. Constantly sending me messages on social media saying, like, what's happening with the podcast, etc., etc. But I'm here. So, a lot to talk about since the last time I seen you. So let's get straight into it. But before we go any further in the podcast today, here on this lovely Tuesday morning, tell you what though, yesterday was a lovely day, bank holiday. It was bank holiday weekend, just as past our weekend there. So hope you all had a great bank holiday weekend. I had a great weekend, guys. I was away out yesterday again. Put the vlog up late last night from our day yesterday. We had a great bank holiday weekend. Great week last week in general. We had a fantastic week last week. But anyway, yes, moving on. Before I continue on with the podcast today, just want to let you know how you can get in touch with us, etc. here on the program. If you're new to the Moore Army podcast or a regular listener to the podcast, you can get in touch with us by the following methods. First of all, email. Any questions? Anything you would like to hear me talk about? And more. Drop us an email. moorearmypodcast@yahoo.com. That's moorearmypodcast@yahoo.com. Also, social media, which is the best place people keep in touch with me. Facebook, which is the Moore Army YouTube channel Facebook page. Please drop a like on it. Just search Moore Army YouTube channel. More people are actually following that page than actually liking it. Still. Which I'm asking you to encourage you to please drop a like on it. Does support the page. Thank you. Appreciate that. Also, Instagram, which is the most important one, which a lot of you seem to go to, which is official Matthew Moore on Instagram. And also the website, which, by the way, I've got some good news. When I was away in England last week, I got an email. The summer merch is coming. I've actually had some samples sent to me for the merchandise. moorearmy.co.uk. You can check out all the vlogs throughout the years. You can check out everything on there. Get your merch, whatever. You can go to the Moore Army YouTube channel as well and subscribe. Or if you're listening to this podcast right now on YouTube, you can subscribe to the YouTube channel where you're listening to this podcast right now as well. Please go and check out the Moore Army YouTube channel. Drop a subscribe on that. There's well over 2,500 videos on that channel from over the years, plus our recent trip to England. The Moore Army merchandise for the summer is coming. I got a few samples sent to me there Wednesday last week, I think it was, and I'm really happy with it, so it's good to go. So it's coming up probably in the next week or so. moorearmy.co.uk. So yes, I've been a busy bunny the last few weeks. I just haven't stopped, as you probably well saw on my channel. I mean, like, gee whiz, what a time it's been since the last time I spoke to you. You know, I did say to you that I had a special location set up for us last week for a podcast, which didn't happen because Lewis and I were just completely ran off our feet. So yes, I'll start with that and tell you what I was up to. If you haven't saw the videos on YouTube, go and check them out. There's quite a lot of videos actually from our trip. I think I maybe put 6 or 7 videos up over the last couple of days. Lewis and I left Northern Ireland on Monday morning. This was like a last minute thing, guys. It was like a last minute trip. Now, if you're a long time follower of my channel, you probably know for a fact that like every Easter, every summer, any bank holidays, I'm always doing things with the kids, whether take them out for the day, take them away for a couple of days, whatever. This past Easter, we done nothing for the first time in I don't know how many years. Obviously Brooke's a bit older now and she likes to go and do her own thing with her friends, so I decided, right, I'm going to ask her anyway. If she wants to go, she can go if she wants. If not, she could stay at home, mum and dad or whatever. So Brooke and Lewis's school was going through that whole rigmarole that like they were doing in the UK all over. Like teachers were striking and there was days off for teacher training days and whatnot. So I thought, right, they're not going to be at school much this week. I'll just take them away for a couple of days and just book a trip somewhere and we'll just piss off somewhere for the while and we'll just disappear. So they were at school, I think it was the Thursday maybe, before I booked it. And I texted to them at school and went, guys, you want to go away for a couple of days? And Brooke was the first one to reply saying, no, Daddy, I gotta work. Spend time with my boyfriend. I'll stay at home and Nanny and Grand will be about and stuff like that as well, so that's okay. And I'm, okay, you want to go? That's cool. Said to Lewis, simple question to him. He was like, Dad, I'm in. I'm going. So I was like, right, okay, where do you want to go? We'll book a trip. We'll book a flight. Where did Lewis pick? Of course, Liverpool. He loves Liverpool, like me. I'm there all the time for football and stuff. But I said to him, well, Lewis, here's the thing, son. When I book this trip, we're not just staying in Liverpool. I want to do day trips. I want to go to places that I haven't been before. And he was like, okay, like where? And I'm going, we'll just pick places. We'll decide closer to the time where we want to go. I don't mind. We'll go and do something. So Lewis was like, okay, Dad, cool, no problem. So up we got Monday morning, 7:30 a.m. flight from Belfast City Airport. Off we went to Liverpool. Got a great wee, what do you call it, apartment in the city. Right in the middle of the city centre, actually. Nice wee spot, out of the way. No hassle, great wee spot to stay in. Probably, if you've watched the vlogs, you'll see it yourself. But we obviously got there. The first day we were just sort of going to spend a bit of time in the city and, go about, do a bit of shopping and just go out for a bit of dinner and whatever else. And obviously Lewis, as you probably be a long time follower of my channel and whatever else of me of the last 7 years, Lewis is a massive fan of the company in the UK, in England, called Pound Bakery, which I've documented long time over on the vlogs, where the company have sent them out stuff like hoodies and vouchers and things like that there. And we got to the city. First place Lewis wanted to go to for his breakfast in the morning was Pound fucking Bakery, so we decided to go there. Went into the ones in John Shopping Centre, and we got greeted with a nice surprise. Walked into the bakery, and the girls behind the counter recognised Lewis, because Lewis apparently has a fucking nickname in England now. All the Pound Bakery staff within the Liverpool, Manchester, Blackpool area, and all this here, all the areas we've been to, all these different Pound Bakeries and beyond, which we found out later on in our trip. Apparently Lewis appeared in one of their little, newsletter things they have for staff, and apparently Lewis was in the local newspaper as well. The time I shared it in our social media, whenever we went even over after getting his free vouchers and his orange Pound Bakery hoodie from the company, he went into one of the stores in Liverpool, and one of the girls recognised him. They come out and they actually presented him with another hoodie, and they were talking about to him. So we took pictures, and the company itself put it all over social media, and literally they've shared it everywhere. So it ended up appearing in the local papers, and then not even just the Liverpool area, a couple of areas beyond that. They have a wee local, apparently it's like a newsletter thing for all the staff of the Pound Bakery all across the UK, all 150 stores, whatever it was. So Lewis apparently on something is called the Pound Bakery Boy, which I just couldn't believe. I was actually in the store in St John Shopping Centre pissing myself laughing, going, are you actually for real? And the girl's like, no, I'm being serious. He's the Pound Bakery Boy. And I'm just like, oh my fucking God, seriously. Staff were great. Really, really cool. So nice about it all. And then we took a wee down around the town. The store that if you watch my vlogs, you've seen Lewis get into a store, which is actually near Liverpool 1, the big main shopping complex in Liverpool. And it was shut. They actually closed it down. And I've got a wee clip I want to put in the vlog this week sometime. Lewis is not happy, trust me. He's not a happy bunny. And I was like, what the hell? So we went back the next morning to get breakfast, and we asked the staff, why did they close it down? Apparently the same thing that like even the council here in fucking Northern Ireland are doing. All the local councils are putting up the rates and everything else, and the Pound Bakery were like, look, listen, there's 2 or 3 stores in Liverpool anyway. We don't need this store, and they just shut it. That was Lewis's favourite one. That's the one where he got his hoodie and all presented to him in there, which he wasn't happy with. But again, there's still Pound Bakery in Liverpool, so... But that was a good start to the trip. Obviously, he was told that he was in the local papers, and he was in the thing, and I couldn't get over it. I was in stitches laughing. So I took more photographs of Lewis in stores in Liverpool and stuff, and sent them to Pound Bakery directly on Instagram, and thanked them for obviously the staff and the wee thing they done that there, and they wrote back saying, oh no, we know who Lewis is, he's a great kid and all, and we love his posts on social media, and we love him being in the store, and the fact that he travels from Northern Ireland just to come to our premises, which is great. And the company has been fantastic with Lewis, and I could not say any more about them. They are a lovely company to deal with, and the fact that they keep sending them all these wee things as well, and they're so nice to him, and the staff are lovely to him as well. But it gets even fucking worse, guys. Now I want to talk about our couple of our wee trips that went on, because we actually went to Wigan for the day. We went to Chester, which I think is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place to go. While we're in those places as well, Lewis spotted a couple of Pound Bakeries as well. No surprise. And everyone we went into knew who he was. Wigan, Chester, and there was like 2 stores in each, and both stores knew who he was. I was just like, oh my god, seriously. So yeah, they know who he is, and I just want to personally thank Pound Bakery for being so cool with my son. And the staff are great, and you know, for a little boy who just goes over to Liverpool to watch football with me, who decided he found this wee bakery one day and fell in love with their sausage rolls and fell in love with their food and their buns and their cakes and whatever else. And all he done was one time when he started up his own YouTube channel and asked them for sponsorship. They said they don't do sponsorships, which is unfortunate, and they don't. They've took him under his wing, and they treat him so good, and they send him stuff, and you know, they reply to his messages, and the fact that they've done all these things for him is great, and the staff know who he is, and they're lovely people. Even when we met the newer staff in Wigan and in Chester the other day, you know, it was like unbelievable. It makes his day. I know it probably sounds stupid for some people who are listening to this podcast and thinking it's a fucking bakery. No, this little boy who just loves it, and the fact that they're so good to him, it makes his day. You know what I mean? Just wee simple things they got. He's like me, he enjoys the simple things in life. So he's really, really happy with that. And I want to thank Pound Bakery for being so cool with him. And the fact that he's got a nickname, the Pound Bakery Boy, it's just... I was actually going to get a t-shirt made for him. And stick it on our merchandise store. Just him and the sausage roll and call him Pound Bakery Boy. But I don't think Pound Bakery would be happy to be using their logo on a t-shirt. Unless, what do you call it? Unless they let me do it. I don't know. Maybe I'll contact them down the road and see. But no, nice people. So they are really, really nice people. But get back to what I was saying to you about the trip. You know, spent the first day in Liverpool, had a great night, went out for dinner, had a really good time. As I said, you can go and check out all the videos on our channel from the first night being there. The first day we were actually there, it was so fun because I actually got to experience something that I never actually experienced before. I see these videos on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook and all about Chinese supermarkets. Now, I eat some type of Chinese food. Now, I'm a pretty plain eater, guys, and things like that and whatever else. And you do see all these wee things, like in Tesco they're selling like this new Chinese range of new, is it Japanese or Chinese food, whatever it is. I showed it in the vlog a few weeks ago, and I've always seen these Chinese supermarkets and seen people talking about, you know, experiencing different things from different countries, and I love finding out new things about different countries and whatever, different cultures and how to eat and things like that. But then we're walking up Bold Street on Monday. I think it was Monday. It was Monday. For what I remember, it was Monday or I can't remember what day it was anyway. And it was like, okay, right, we'll go up Bull Street, top of Bull Street. We're looking at all the different stores. Went up. Lewis got his wig chopped, by the way. Shout out to Adam, Lewis's barber back home. Adam, I apologise. Lewis had to go and get a quick trim because his hair was a disgrace. I know you're his barber, but Lewis needed to get his hair cut. So we got a wee quick trim. We're just walking back down the road again towards the town, and we spotted a Chinese supermarket. And I thought to myself, you know something? Fuck it. I'm going to go and have a look at this place and see what it's like. Guys, my eyes were really, really open when I went in here. Like, I put a wee video, it's running about 7 minutes long, of Lewis and I's experience in a Chinese supermarket. It was actually really, really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. All these different things. Now, I saw food that, like, it's here in the UK, but it's like a Chinese version of it, or a Japanese version, whatever it was anyway. And it was interesting because some of the food that we saw was just like eye-opening, and some of the stuff that Lewis found, you know, it was eye-opening. It was just to show you, you know, a different side of the world, a different way of looking at food and things like that. And I actually got talking to one of the girls who was a Chinese girl who worked in the store while Lewis was still looking about, and I said to her, you know, I've always heard of places like this and seen them videos on YouTube and seen this and seen that, and I've always wanted to come in to see what it's like and be. Oh, she says, listen, when we first opened here in Liverpool, it was the same. People were coming in going, oh, let's have a look here and see. And I said to her, you know, do you get many people come in here and, you know, shop regularly, or do you get people just come in to be nosy? Or because obviously there is a bit of a Chinese community in China. Obviously there's Chinatown in Liverpool, and you know. And she says, oh, we get a regular Chinese people come in all the time as well, which is all normal. But she says we do get people who actually regularly shop in here. And I went, locals? And she was like, oh yeah, we get loads of locals coming in all the time. They buy all different foods, and you know, we get people coming in who would eat foods now that they would never eat until they came to work shop in our place. And I was like, that's pretty cool. So guys, again, go back and check it out on the YouTube channel. It's called Shopping in a Chinese Supermarket. It's actually really, really good. Lewis and I had a great time. We went round and we sat and we looked at all these different things, and it was eye-opening. So it was really, really eye-opening to see a different look at food and a culture. And you know, I love finding new things to do and doing different things and whatnot, but we had a really good time. So we had a really good time in there, and the staff were lovely. The wee young girl I was speaking to was from China, and her English was fantastic, and she was such a nice person, and we were talking away, and it was lovely to talk to her. It was great. It was a great experience. So go and check it out, guys. It lasts about 7 minutes, so it does. But anyway, moving on from that, there, the first day of Liverpool, we were there as well. I had to tell this story because this was just a fucking quality story. Absolutely class. First day in Liverpool, we've done 3 videos. We've done our travelling video, which we always do, and then we've done another video, obviously going around town and things like that. But we had just literally arrived in Liverpool, got our gear and took it up to the apartment. Couldn't check in till about 2 o'clock. And this was about, what, 10:30 in the morning. So I thought, Lewis, listen, we don't even need showers or nothing. We've had a shower before we came this morning. We'll just drop our gear off at the storage in the apartments. The girl said we could probably come in a wee bit earlier, which we'd end up doing anyway. But I said, we'll just go into town, have a bit of lunch, whatever, a bit of breakfast, whatever, and we'll shop about. Okay, Dad, cool. So I was just literally ending the first vlog, which was the travel vlog. And it was like, okay, well then we just came to the top of Matthew Street near McCooley's bar, and it was obviously empty. The place was empty. Literally found a wee seat at the side of a wee barrel thing, just had a wee seat down, and was just fiddling around my phone, checking social media, whatever else. I just literally lifted my head, and who's standing in front of me? Like literally 5 feet in front of me. Ex-Liverpool player, Sky Sports pundit Jimmy Carragher. And I'm just like, my first words, and this is no bullshit, guys, honestly, my first words were, holy fuck, it's Jimmy Carragher. And he just looked at me and went, alright lad, how's it going? And I'm just like, holy shit, it's Jimmy Carragher. And Lewis just jumped out off his seat and went, like, oh my god, Dad, it's Jimmy. And I went straight over to him and I was like, Jimmy, nice to meet you, how are you? I was like, alright sound lad, how are you? And I was like, well, I said, I don't know why I asked him. I said, why are you walking around here on your own for? And he went, oh, I'm just walking around the town this morning, got a couple of things to pick up for the missus, and going to head down here for a wee coffee and stuff. And I was like, holy shit, this is just like, this guy's just like, he's famous, he's an ex-Liverpool player. You know, he's won everything with Liverpool. Well, apart from the Premier League, of course, like, but we'll say no more about that. This guy won the League Cup, the FA Cup, the fucking It was now the Europa League. It's called the UEFA Cup back then. The Champions League in 2005. This guy's won nearly everything with Liverpool, and he's a Sky Sports pundit. Every week he's on TV 2, 3, 4 times a week. And well, can I get a photo? And he was like, yeah, of course you can, mate. And I said, no problem. And I was just saying, we're just videoing a wee vlog and stuff. And he went, all right, okay. And I just turned around and said to him, we're kind of well known for videos here in Liverpool all the time. And the night we beat Barcelona, our video went viral and stuff. And he goes, I seen a lot of those videos. And I was like, well, yeah, we were one of the ones that went to really viral. And we ended up a part of the Liverpool Nike advert and all the next year and all. And he went, all right, okay. The one with the people, the fans and all were involved. And I mean, yeah. You see it back, the guy in the purple Liverpool shirt acting like a tit, that was me, and our video got like 6 million views and whatever else, and we're just chatting about your YouTube and stuff, and chatting about football, and Lewis is just standing looking at him, his jaw hitting the floor, going like, holy fuck, this is Jamie Carragher right in front of me here. So I said, can I get a picture? And he was like, yeah, of course you can. And then he turns into Lewis and goes, you alright, kiddo? And Lewis is just like, hi. And he goes, do you want to come in for a photo? And he was like, yeah, come on in. So we got a photo, and Lewis shook his hand, and he was like, oh, he says, you on Sky Sports this week? And he's like, kid, I'm never off Sky Sports. The wife's going to kill me. And I was like, cool. And I said, well, listen, Jimmy, it's nice to meet you. And he was like, no problem. He says, keep up with good work on all your YouTube and all. Keep promoting Liverpool. Keep supporting the club and all. And I was like, no problem. Me, do us a favour. Keep fucking winding up Gary Neville because he's a twat. And he was just like, I get paid to do it. He says, I love it. He was such a nice guy. Such a nice guy. And you watch the vlog. We have a vlog up on our channel now. We named it. We meet Jimmy, LFC Liverpool, Liverpool legend Jamie Carragher in Liverpool. It was just awesome. He was such a nice guy. I wish I had asked him to be in the fucking vlog. It would have been priceless. But he was such a nice guy, and that was our day setup. That was our trip complete even before we got any further. But anyway, yeah, moved on from there, guys. Spent the rest of the day in Liverpool. The next day we actually went to Wigan, of all places, for the first time. And honestly, Wigan is a nice wee spot. And I have a friend who lives in Belfast. His name's Connor. I've known him for years. He's a big Wigan Athletic fan. We were standing in Lime Street Station the next morning, and I says to Lewis, I says, son, if Wigan's ground's available for a stadium tour today, would you like to go and see Wigan's ground? And he went, oh yeah, Dad, we love new grounds, go and check them out. So I text Connor and I says, do they do like stadium tours and stuff like that? And he goes, I know a friend over there, I know a fellow works there, and I'll ask him for you. So unfortunately he couldn't do it for us, but Connor says to me, Wigan's not great. And I went, okay, well, fair enough, but we'll give it a go anyway. It's somewhere new, somewhere to tick off the list, So I jumped on the train, and I'll tell you what, guys, I actually really enjoyed it. Wigan was actually really, really good. I actually thoroughly enjoyed Wigan a lot. I mean, we done a lot in Wigan that day. Lewis got a bottle of Prime, which he was really happy about too as well. Now, we've done a 2-part vlog on Wigan. Showing you the city, or what do you even call it, a city or a town, whatever it is. And then later on in the day, Lewis and I went 10-pin bowling, and we had an absolute ball. So we had a great time in Wigan. It was a really nice wee spot. We had some fun. Lewis was playing around in an old red British telephone box as well. We had fun messing around with that. My kids still can't believe to this day they actually had to go and use a payphone to ring people back in the day instead of having to use a mobile phone. It's so funny. Even done it last year in Blackpool. There's a line of them old red boxes in Blackpool. I think it's hilarious. But guys, we had a ball. We went 10-pin bowling later on in the day. We went for a walk around the whole place, and it was just a great, great place. And you're going to laugh when I tell you this. We got recognised in Wigan. Of all the fucking places in the world, Wigan. So it just shows you just don't know who's watching you, who's listening to the podcast. And people who met there were great. Wigan is a great wee spot to go to if you want to go out for the day. And I really, really enjoyed it. But the next day after that was, wow, this place really opened my eyes. Chester. The next day it was like, right, Lewis, where we're going to? I said, Lewis, I've always wanted to go to Chester. Like, I've seen these videos of Chester on YouTube. I've been watching Chester videos for a long time, and people might think, Chester, what the fuck you want to do with Chester? Let me tell you something, guys. Chester was lovely. It was like going back in time. It was such a beautiful place. Now, obviously, it had all your nice modern day stores as well, but the town itself, even above the shop, had all these like old English style buildings. It had the famous Chester clock, which was on top of a wee bridge. we went down to where the lake and all was, and we saw all these lovely bridges and boats, and oh my god, go please, I encourage you to go and watch the videos of Chester part 1 and part 2. We just had an absolute ball. We're in this lovely wee cafe up beside the big famous clock. This guy converted an old building into it's like an old fashioned vintage cafe, and he's such a nice guy. When you meet him, he comes across as very pompous and very posh English type, but see, when you get talking to him, he's actually a really smart man. And he brews his own beer. He offered me a free beer to take home with me back to Northern Ireland. Unfortunately, I couldn't get it through the airport. But, because obviously, you know what customs are like, they're a fucking nightmare. I'll tell you about customs later on. It's just a nightmare. But, guys, the views in Chester and the people in Chester, the old fashioned, oh my god. Go and watch the videos of Chester. Honestly, we had an absolute great time there. Thoroughly enjoyed. And it was just like, it was so relaxing to be there for the day. And even, I thought Lewis mightn't have liked it, but he did. He actually enjoyed it. And we've got loads of footage for vlogs. Lewis done vlogs on his channel too, if you want to go and check them out. On his YouTube channel, Lewis Moore. Just type in Luis, Lewis, and then Moore. Drop a subscribe on him as well if you can, guys. But no, it was great. It was great. Beautiful part of the world, and I will definitely be back to Chester ASAP because it's a lovely, lovely wee spot. But overall, guys, we had a great trip away. Only one problem I had is recently, guys, I bought myself back home here in the house. I bought myself a dartboard because when Tony comes round, as you all know, Thursday nights are my cheat night where I have a few beers and Tony comes round, whatever else, and I bought myself a dartboard. And only had 2 sets of darts. One of them was really crap, so I threw them darts out. And I was in Liverpool, and I bought myself a lovely set of darts with Liverpool flights and all on them. Lovely job, really, really nice. So I thought to myself, I'll keep them in the package, I'll not open them, but what I'll do is I'll contact the airport, I'll contact the airline to see if it's okay before I buy them, if I can get them home on the airplane. So if I have to check them in or whatever, and if they take them off me and I collect them and they're back in Belfast, that's fine, because they were a lovely set of darts. I thought, great, no problem. So one night in the apartment, before I bought them, I actually phoned EasyJet and said to them, listen guys, here's the thing, I'm flying back home on Thursday. I'm about to purchase a brand new set of darts, and they're going to be in the case, plastic and sealed. They're not going to be opened. You know, is there any way I can get them home? Certainly, as long as they're sealed, they're not open. You know, when you get to the security and the airport, tell them that you have them. Give them to them. Don't put them in a bag or keep them, whatever, and get them through. And then when you get on the airline, let the people know as well that you have them and you're declaring them and whatever else. And I was like, right, no problem, cool. Gets to the fucking airport on Thursday. Tells the staff, look, listen, I have darts here. They're not open. Look, they're sealed. The guy says, lift them out of your bag, put them in your box, put them through. It'll be cool. I was like, sweet as a nut. Puts him through security. The wee guy goes, the RN goes, oh, no, sharp object. And I said, me, hold on a wee second. And me, number one, I rang the airline. They were cool with it. They told me what to do up at the front there, which I did do. And the guy at the RN was cool about it. He told me to lift them out, put them in a certain area, get them through. And then obviously when I get to the gate, let the gate know as well, just to keep myself right. Oh, no. This guy started being a bit of a dick. And I was like, mate, I've done everything the fucking airline's asked. I've done everything else everybody asked me to. I'll have to speak to my supervisor. And all the luck in the world, the supervisor I got was a miserable looking fucker. Just a miserable, grumpy old shit. And he was just standing there with a face on him like a slapped arse. And he was so miserable. And I had a chat with him and I was nice to him. I was like, excuse me, listen, I done this. I done all the right procedures. And he went, I don't care. That's what he said to me. I don't care. And I looked at me. I said to him, excuse me, you don't care? Himmy, that's a nice attitude to fucking have. I mean, I've stood here and I've declared everything. I've held my hands up and said, this is it. And even days before I got here, I contacted the airline and everything else. I done everything through the procedures. And he went, we're not getting them through. And I went, okay. I said to him, why are you giving me attitude? He was giving me a real fucking attitude. Oh, well, I'm not dealing with this. And I went, you're not dealing with this? I mean, so if anybody, just because you decide because you're being in a grumpy mood or whatever, you think you can just decide, pick and choose whenever you're going to go through the gate when the people are doing their proper procedures. And I went, you fucking dick. I didn't call him a dick. Well, I was going to call him a fucking dick. I walked away from him and I just went, you dick. Like, seriously? Why are you being like this? And I walked over to another guy, because there any other manager I could speak to, because this guy has no personality. I said to him, the guy's attitude stinks. And no, there's nobody else available. I said, well, hold on a wee second. I rang EasyJet. I rang the right people and declared everything. And when I got to the far end, but even before I came through security, I told them, and they told me what to do to get it through security, to get it on the plane, to get it home. And it's sealed. It's not even open. And it's not even going to be in my possession. If you want to take it off me and put it somewhere else until I get off the plane in Belfast, I'll even do that. And they were like, no. There's nobody else to speak to. So that miserable grumpy fucker had my darts taken off me, and God knows where they are now. I'll not see them again. And then I spoke to another guy when I was putting my stuff back in the box, and I goes, is he always like that? And he went, nobody here likes him. How he got that job, we'll never know. And I'm like, are you serious? I mean, does he always have this rotten attitude? And he was like, yeah, he's just not a great person to deal with. I mean, he can't just fucking pick and choose who he decides to go through. Like, sir, I know it's a sharp object, but if you're declaring something through the airline and all the proper procedures, even if I had rang them originally and they said, no, you can't bring sharp items through that there, we don't let it happen, I wouldn't have bought the fucking things in the first place. That's why I done it the right way, the contact, say, look, I'm about to buy this, can I or can I not bring this home? Or should I go to a post office maybe and post it home? No, this is what you need to do. Through all the different procedures. And then I get to the end and this grumpy fuck walks up and goes, nah, can't be bothered, mate, you're not getting it through. So let's just say I wasn't best pleased with that. So I wasn't. So, bit of a dampener on the trip, like, because I wanted to get those darts home because they were really, really nice looking darts, and I was a little bit pissed about it, but what can you do? Hey ho. But overall, guys, it was a great trip. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Lewis and I had a wonderful time, and it was nice to meet some people over there who recognised us from YouTube as well, whether it be in Liverpool or Wigan. We had a great time. And yeah, I'll be looking forward to getting back over again. I'll probably not be on any more Liverpool games this season, guys, to be quite honest, but I want to get back to Chester, because I want to spend more time in Chester because there's so much more to do. And it's a lovely spot, and the people were lovely. And Wigan as well. Wigan was awesome. I enjoyed it. Even though my friend Connor said there wasn't very much to do on it, I really enjoyed it. So I actually really enjoyed it. So I can't really complain. But anyway, yes, what else have I been up to since the last time I spoke to you? Yes, so we got back home on Thursday. And I came home on Thursday and had a few beers on Thursday night, chilled out. Got up on Friday, and Lewis and I were away to Belfast on Friday. We went to see the WWE live show at the SSE Arena. That was another great day. We had another great night. We started off by going to meet WWE superstar Bianca Belair in Castle Court. It was organised by WWE and the toy company, The Entertainer. Great time. Met her, lovely girl. She signed one of my Funko Pop toys. She signed stuff for Lewis. She was such a lovely, lovely person. Went to the show, and before I talk about the show, can I just say something? I want to thank everybody who come up to us in Castle Court. Like, seriously, I know how many selfies we took in Castle Court with people. Like, Lewis was looking at me and going like, Daddy, people are taking more like selfies with you and her. You may as well have a table set up and signing stuff too. And I was like, no, Lewis, it's grand. Like, young fans who come up to us who recognise us from YouTube and stuff, and they wanted selfies. Even newer people were coming up and going, are you a famous YouTuber? And I'm going, well, I'm on YouTube, but I wouldn't say I'm famous. I'm just a normal working class guy from Northern Ireland who's on YouTube and is known a bit. And we're taking selfies and stuff. And I want to say thank you to everybody who came up, whether you're an adult or a child or whatever, or a family, before we even went to the show in Castle Court. You were all so nice to us. Really enjoyed meeting every one of you. Such a lovely time meeting every one of you at that signing. But then we got to the actual event, and that was even better. The amount of people that we met at the WWE show in Belfast was just, wow. It was actually really, 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 really good, and I thoroughly enjoyed meeting like every one of you. It was just an absolute pleasure in meeting you all. I actually got a message the other day, from a person who I met there, Sharon, you called her. She says, she sent me a wee message asking me herself and her two big sons were big fans, and she wanted me to give a shout out to her son Aaron. So I said I would do that, so I did. There you are. So hello to Aaron. But anyway, everybody out there who I met, I had different people from all different backgrounds and different ways of life, and people come up to me on the floor in the arena saying hello and wanting selfies, and the guy who sat beside me with his girlfriend recognised me from YouTube as well. Me and him were just sitting chatting away all night during the show and talking about the old days of wrestling, talking about everything in general. And we did do a vlog at it, and me and Lewis got some really cool footage at that show, so go and check it out. It's on the channel now, Mirror Army YouTube channel. It's called WWE Live in Belfast, April 2023. We had an absolute great time. So we did. The show itself was actually better than what I thought it was going to be. And two wrestlers took Lewis's phone off him at ringside and took selfies with Lewis, and that made his day. He had his photos taken with Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. So he was happy. We had a great time. And again, guys, anybody who come up to me and ask for a picture or just to talk about the YouTube channel or anything at all, thank you so much for being so kind to us. We had an absolute ball meeting everybody. I don't know how many photos I took that day. I can't even remember. But we had an absolute great time talking to everybody. Whether you were a young person or an adult or whatever. Like I was coming out of the bathroom and one guy, adult, a full grown adult, like shouted on me outside near the cinema, and he walked out of the queue and put his hand out and shook my hand and said, loved your channel. And I was kind of like, mate, thank you so much. Like, and people were like looking at me like I'm some big celebrity. Guys, I'm not. I'm just normal me. I was talking to a few different people and they were like, are you really well known? And I'm like, well, yeah, but I don't consider myself known as a big YouTuber in Northern Ireland. I'm just me. I'm just little old Matthew from Bangor who makes videos with his kids for fun. You know what I mean? So, and I appreciate anybody who comes up and says hello and wants a photo or whatever. You know what? That means the world to me. So, but yeah, it was good to meet you all up at the WWE show. We had a great time. You want to go and check out the video, even if you're not a wrestling fan, you'll see all the different things we got up to that day as well. So go and check it out. And finally, before we get into some of these subjects I want to talk about today on the podcast, yesterday, bank holiday weekend ended yesterday with Bank Holiday Monday. Lewis and I were in Newcastle and County Down yesterday. So, guys, this past week, we've been fucking on the go constantly, Lewis and I. We were in Newcastle with a couple of friends of ours. We had a great time. I want to give a shout out to Laura and Olivia. So, big shout out to those guys. We had a great time in Newcastle yesterday. I haven't been to Newcastle guys. It's a really good vlog. Actually, parts of it was a little bit sort of a wee bit emotional for me, because on the way home from being in Newcastle for the day, which was a great day by the way, stopped off at an old caravan park that I used to go to when I was a kid growing up. I showed a wee clip of footage on our channel, I think about a year or so ago, where we found old VHS tapes of our summer holidays in the caravan back in the early 90s. Burke was sitting at the kitchen table with me and we were watching a few wee clips and stuff like that. And in them videotapes you saw Tony and I, when we were like my first day in high school, Tony's first day in primary school, you know, all that there in that old vlog. About a year and a half ago maybe I put that video up. Just, you see us sitting at the kitchen table and I swing the camera into the wee TV and show wee clips and stuff like that there. But I got to go back there yesterday in Newcastle and see the caravan park the way it is now compared to what it was then. And the memories were just flooding back, guys, from whenever I was there as a kid. All the memories just kept flooding back. And it was just a great time. And Lewis was there too as well. And it was just a great video yesterday. We put it up yesterday. It's called Bank Holiday Monday in Newcastle, County Down. So if you want to go and check it out, it's available to watch on the channel, guys. You can watch it now. I put it up late last night. So it was a great day. Really, really good day. A day that I needed to chill out after all the week of travelling and everything else. But really, really good. But anyway, I've got some more things I want to talk about on the podcast today. And before I do any further as well, what a result for Liverpool the weekend. What a game. Liverpool 4, Tottenham 3. What a fucking game. Our live reaction video. Oh my God. I think I near broke Lewis in half about 3 or 4 times jumping up watching that match. It was incredible. Jota scoring the winning goal in the last minute and all too. Ugh, what a game. What a game of football. And the thing about it is though, I says to Lewis yesterday, here's son, daddy's cheat day, Thursday day, where he's having those wee beers and all, may actually end up being in Liverpool a couple of times next season. He says, why? Because Liverpool's going to be in the Europa League next year. Thursday night football. Oh, for fuck's sake. But anyway, yes guys, couple of things I want to talk about today as well. This coronation's coming up. Starts. I think the celebration starts. Is it an actual coronation this weekend? Is he actually getting coronated? I think he's getting coronated this weekend. It all begins anyway. People are preparing for the King's coronation coming up, and a lot of you have been contacting me, asking me my views about it. I talked about it a couple of times over the last couple of weeks in the podcast, saying what my views about, fucking Meghan and not bringing her Charles's grandkids to the coronation, etc., 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 etc. When Lewis and I were in England last week, we saw all the different things people were preparing for the coronation. And even yesterday, people in Newcastle were selling stuff like flags and banners and everything else for the coronation and all that there stuff. And people are asking me what I'm going to be doing for the coronation. Well, I've been asked to go to a barbecue at the weekend during the day, and then I've been asked to go to a 60th birthday party on the Saturday night. So, honestly, I don't think I'll be doing very much, to be honest with you guys, this weekend for this whole big celebration thing. There's no football this weekend. I forgot to mention as well, the football season ended there at the weekend for Lewis and I. The Welders win 3-2 at the weekend on Saturday, so we were at that game too, and it was the end of the football season. So that's that done and dusted for another season. I got a couple of matches coming up over the next few weeks with the under 21s because they're going for the league title, but I'll be doing bits and balls with them over the next few weeks. But people keep asking about this coronation and all. They're saying to me, what are you going to be doing for it? Are you going to be celebrating it and all? And then obviously I've had a few arseholes coming in from saying, what the fuck are you celebrating now? I never once said I was celebrating anything, so keep your fucking opinions to yourself. But I haven't got a clue what I'll be doing this weekend, to be honest with you. I don't think I'll be doing very much, to be quite honest with you guys. Now on Sunday, Lewis and I are at the Irish Cup final on Sunday. We're going to that. That's another big vlog coming up on the channel on Sunday, because we're going as VIPs. We're going to be in one of the boxes at Windsor Park. You're probably thinking to yourself, oh fuck here, swanky. Listen, I've worked hard all season in football, and I want to enjoy the Irish Cup final. I want to have a good day out, and I want to treat myself, because at the end of the day, I've done many games I've done this season in Irish League football, and many times I've travelled up and down them fucking roads. The miles that Lewis and I put on our body as football season has been incredible, and I want to enjoy the Irish Cup final, the showpiece event on Sunday, which I'm looking forward to that for Lewis and I. A big day out on Sunday, Ballymena against Crusaders. I'm looking forward to that final. Last year's final was the same team. I had a great day last year, so I'm looking forward to this year's one. So I am. But yeah, people keep asking about this coronation and stuff like that, saying, what are you going to be doing? I don't think I'll be doing very much. But here, a bit of sad news this week as well. Big Jerry Springer from back in the day. Jerry Springer, the old talk show host, the whole controversial chat show. I always used to say that Jeremy Kyle used to have a rip-off version of the Jerry Springer show. Unfortunately, Jerry Springer passed away this past week. An icon of chat shows. The man who set the bar back in the 90s. God, do you remember watching them? I remember watching those. Sorry, I don't remember if I remember them as well. But back, it used to be on Sky late at night because it was so controversial. Obviously a lot of it was all set up and all, because it came out years later. It was all set up and stuff, but it was such a controversial show back in those days, where people were beating the shit out of each other and saying yeah, I'm having an affair with your brother, or I'm sleeping with your sister, or your stepdad's going with your cousin, or whatever, or they were cheating on each other, or they were fighting each other, that was an iconic show back in the day. A lot of stuff wouldn't be on TV now because of all the fucking lefty snowflake gurnbags on there now, crying and complaining and boohoo and whinging, which is unbelievable. Yeah, Jerry Springer unfortunately passed away this past week, which is kind of sad, to be honest with you. He was an icon, so he was, and it was so sad to hear that he had passed away, which is really, really sad. It's one of those ones. Another big name in the world has passed away, which is kind of really sad, to be quite honest with you. But here, listen to this here. Now, I still get messages from you guys quite a lot about cost of living and saying how much you're struggling, and petrol prices, diesel prices, food prices especially. I saw this morning, and a lot of you drivers out there do contact me and say that they have been contacting me the last lot of months since I first started talking about all this on the podcast, saying about prices, about everything else. I just read this morning. I'm not surprised. It says here, bumper BP profits $4 billion in 3 months. Oil and gas giant BP has reported strong profits of the beginning of the year as energy prices remain high. No fucking surprise. Profits hit £4 billion in the first 3 months of the year, although it was down from 6.2 last year. Because people are not driving their cars as much now because they can't fucking afford to. That's why it's down. But still, even so, all that money in 3 months, £4 billion. And you wonder why people are, wanting to travel on public transport now more, or they're walking to work instead, or they're doing different things because they can't afford to drive their fucking car. And I regularly I get emails from people saying to me, they prefer to take public transport now, or it's cheaper to take public. And here, don't even get me started on public transport. They've even put the prices of that up as well now. Like, me and Lewis would get a train on a Saturday from Bangor train station to Belfast, right? And normally a return ticket for an adult and a child on a Saturday was normally about £7 return. Maybe £7.50 or whatever it was. And I go down now and it's over £10 now on a train. And I said to the girl 2 weeks ago, did they put the prices up? Oh, they had to because of the cost of living. And because of COVID and stuff. And I looked at it and I went, because of COVID? So a fucking flu bug is actually put the prices of everything up? I'm like, for the love of fucking Pete, seriously? Everything's because of COVID and because of cost of living. And I'm just like, everybody's jumping on the bloody bandwagon now. I'm just like, are you serious? Like, okay, it's only £2, £3 more on the train. But to a lot of people, that's a lot of money. And a lot of people will struggle with that. And this whole cost of living, there's people out there who are genuinely struggling to live and put food on the table and struggling. And, you probably listen to me now and saying, well, you're not struggling because you can piss off the football trips whenever you want. And let me tell you something, guys. I only spend money. I've always been like this, and especially more now in the last 10 years since I became a single dad on my own. I only spend money when I need to. And the money that I do for my trips that you see me on all the time, the likes of Liverpool games, I do that extremely cheap. Like my trip, not that I have to fucking explain myself to people, but that trip that last week Lewis and I were out for 3 or 4 days was under £200. Believe it or not. You probably think, yeah, you're full of shit. I'm being serious. Our flights were only like £70 return for the both of us. And people say, oh, but you can afford all this and you can afford all that. Because I only spend when I need to. When I was married, guys, I was broke. Like, I was legitimately fucking broke. My wages were gone from my job before I even got it. Not that I want to really get into that detailed story about ex-wives and divorces and all that, because I'm not going to, because it's nobody else's business. But for a long time, guys, I was broke. And even when my marriage ended, I ended up flat broke and sleeping on a fucking sofa with nothing to my name. All my stuff was gone. So that's why I appreciate what I have now. I don't have there's people out there who are better off than me, but I appreciate more what I have now than what I did, say, 10 years ago. So, and there's people out there now who are legitimately fucking struggling, and they contact me regularly saying to me, I find it hard to pay my mortgage. I find it hard to put food on the table for my kids. I work 40, 50, 60 hours a week. And then I see these stories of these companies making an absolute fortune, like BP, all this money going up, all these prices going up, and blah, blah, blah. And then they turn around and you go, well, what's causing all this? Oh, COVID. Oh, this causes that. No, COVID my ass. It's just, that's what makes me so cross with the world right now. Everything just seems to be all revolved around that. And, some of the stories that I hear from you guys legitimately hurt. It breaks my heart to see it. It's crazy. But anyway, let's get on to something else here. A big story here this morning about Cadbury's chocolate. Cadbury's chocolate. I'm not a massive fan of Cadbury's chocolate. Well, it used to be. Apparently, anybody there who eats a lot of Cadbury's chocolate, I'll be actually quite careful, because it came out this morning here that there's been a lot of their products have been recalled over deadly bacteria fears. So if you eat the following: Dame bars, or dime bars I used to call it back in the day, dairy milk buttons, dairy milk chunks, chocolate desserts, and there's a few other there. There's a full list online apparently. Used by the 18th of May were all recalled apparently because of bacteria. So if you've been eating a lot of Cadbury's chocolate and you end up with the squirts in the toilet for 3 or 4 days, then that's probably what it is. It's all over the news this morning, so it is. Which is kind of sad. Because Cadbury's chocolate, obviously growing up for me, was always a big thing for me. But anyway, what I'm going to do is now I want to hop into a couple of wee questions here, because I got some emails and stuff from these guys over the last week or so from last week's podcast and stuff. And, it's just, again, I apologise for no vlog last week, but I'll go into the email first of all, which is morearmypodcast@yahoo.com. Okay, one here first of all from Ross. He says, "Hi Matthew, loving the content lately. Just wanted to know your advice on dealing with self-care and remaining motivated in life. P.S. He's still going out for your walks. Love the podcast. Keep up the good work." Well, I'll tell you what, Ross. Walking, fuck me, man. The amount of walking we done last week in Liverpool and Wigan and thing. The first day, I have a wee thing on my smartwatch. The first day we got to Liverpool, we walked 13 miles. I actually posted a photograph online about it. I think it was my personal Facebook page, actually. Overall, I worked it out over them 3 or 4 days. Lewis and I walked about 35 miles. 30, and I'm not bullshitting you. I'm being serious. And they ask, am I still doing my walks? Yes, I'm still out walking. Not documenting it, which I did promise you guys I would, but I'm still doing a couple of walks a week, yes. Like last week, I was down walking around Ballywalter, which is a wee beach area I used to go down to as well. Because it was last Sunday, the Sunday before, I was out with a friend of mine, went down to the Saltwater Brig, and we had dinner, and then, the food was incredible, by the way, and then went out for a lovely walk along the beach. I'd say about at least a 2 or 3 mile walk along the beach. Beautiful spot. I'm actually going to go out for a couple of walks this week as well, so yeah, I'm still out walking. And you're asking me as well about self-care and remaining motivated in life. I think I've said this before. The thing that keeps me motivated in my life is Brooke and Lewis. Brooke and Lewis are the ones that keep me motivated. And I talked about this the other week about mental health and stuff like that on the podcast and stuff like that. I mean, I've had my mental health struggles in my time. And, if it wasn't for Brooke and Lewis, I don't know where the hell I'd be today. Brooke and Lewis remind me of motivation every day. The reason why I get up every day. And as the older I've got, I appreciate every day more now. And I'm thankful that I wake up every day and I'm breathing every day, and especially lately as well with the whole thing with, Dad's health scare. We had his heart attack recently and all the different things that have been going on, and that keeps you motivated to keep moving forward and keep being positive. And again, going back to what I said earlier on this podcast, meeting new people. Like, I've met so many people over this last week or so, and when you're having a really shitty day and you're feeling like crap and you get an email from someone or a text or a Facebook message or an Instagram message from someone saying, "Hey Matthew, I love your channel. Matthew, keep up the good work. Keep going, keep pushing forward." Guys, because I've said this many times, this past year or so has been bullshit for me. I've been through a lot of personal shit in the last year or so, and stuff I haven't talked about, personal stuff and other stuff that people know about, like relationship breakups and all things like that. My last year has been a fucking roller coaster, and it hasn't been easy at times, but again, Brooke and Lewis are the ones that keep me going. Football keeps me going. Meeting new people, making videos, talking on this podcast every week, things like that just keep me going. My work, I think just if I didn't have those things, I know it's not very much compared to what some people have, but it's important to me. So it is. I'm a very simple type person in my life, and I don't ask for much. But at the end of the day, I try and give my kids more than what I had, and I try and give myself a better life now than when I'm older. And I appreciate more now in my life. So that's the answer to your question. What keeps me motivated in life? But yeah, Ross, I want to thank you obviously for the email. I appreciate it. It really does mean a lot to me. And the fact that you're taking time out of your day to send me an email means a lot. So, right, let's get into another one here from, let's have a look here. Alan Alan has sent me an email on moorarmypodcast@yahoo.com saying, "Hi Matthew, just wanted to give you a quick email for the podcast this week, whether it be Tuesday or Thursday, or even if you get to see this message. Thank you for taking your time to read it. Not a problem." It says, "Loved your videos from Chestershire. I was there a few years ago with my wife and my 2 kids. What a beautiful part of the country. I see the part in the second video you were down at the lake with your son. What stunning opportunities for pictures that we took. We took quite a lot of pictures that we put on our personal Instagram. They are, I can't read that. They are public for you to have a look at if you wish. We were there about 2-3 years ago, just before COVID. What a great experience. Lovely town. Some lovely traditional tea rooms in there as well, and lovely spots for food as well. My kids loved it too. Loved your content. Loved your videos. Alan." Well, listen, thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. Yes, I saw a couple of the old English tea rooms, which I thought were awesome. The last old-fashioned English tea room I saw was in Southport, which is another really lovely spot. Been there quite a few times too as well. Yeah, it's a great spot, and I'm glad you enjoyed the videos. Thank you very much for your email. I do appreciate it a lot, and thanks obviously for taking your time to obviously take time out of your day to watch our videos and stuff like that there. But yeah, definitely, it's just a great to hear from obviously all you guys that got there. I mean, it's messages like that, guys. You know what I mean? Are just unbelievable. Right, I got one here. I'm going to go to Instagram now. I actually got a couple here. I've quite a lot actually here. You've been talking about this last week. A lot of you have sent me these ones last week about that fucking Looney Tune that stood up on top of the snooker table. Remember that balloon head on that protest? A lot of you want me to talk more about these people because there's been more incidents over the last week or so. I'll find one. There's one here from Kieran says, I shared the video on my Instagram with that balloon head doing that crap at the snooker, and he says, "These idiots should be locked up," and hopefully he is now. When's this going to stop? No one is listening, so why carry on this crap? Honestly, because they're wired to the moon, and they're overprivileged, and they're balloon heads, and they need locked up. So that's just being totally honest with you. They're just nuts. Oh dear. Right, let's get into another one here from Instagram. Okay, this one's here is from Carson. Yes, it's Carson. Carson, where are you from? Let's click on your profile here and see where you're from. You're from Newcastle upon Tyne. Oh, well, not the Newcastle that I was in yesterday, but it's Newcastle upon Tyne in England. So Carson says to me, "Hey Matty, how you doing? Just wanted to drop you a wee quick message for this week's podcast to see how you're doing, how you keeping. I saw you were in Liverpool last week at the train station. Just wanted to ask you a quick question. When are you ever going to come to Newcastle upon Tyne? I see your brother's a Newcastle supporter. Has he ever been to a Newcastle game before? If he ever decides to come to a game, me and my friends would make him very, very welcome as a fellow Geordie supporter. We're on a great roll this season, kicking your ass on the league standings. Ha ha ha. We'd love to hear from you and see sometime he's in the land of the Geordies. I know you're a Liverpool man, but you're more welcome at St James's Park anytime. I'd also seen a few times on your podcast and your YouTube channel you've mentioned that Alan Shearer is your all-time favourite player. What more of a hero could you ask for? Look forward to seeing you and Tony at St James's Park sometime. If you're ever about the area of Newcastle, give us a shout. We'd all love to take you out for a beer." Carson. Listen, thank you very much for that. And yes, that is quite true. Alan Shearer is my all-time favourite footballer. And people are probably going to go, "But why? You're a Liverpool supporter." It could be like Ian Rush or Steven Gerrard or whatever. I just loved Alan Shearer for the fact that he was an old-fashioned English number 9 striker. He was just strong. He's all-time top goal scorer in the Premier League. He was just a fucking outstanding goal scorer back in his day, and the power he had behind some of his shots was incredible. I'd love if Liverpool had signed him back in the day. What a player, what a legend he was. And I know obviously Harry Kane, the balloon head, is catching up with him. Oh, Harry Kane does my head in sometimes, even though he scored against us the weekend. Is catching up soon, but I used to love him. And I used to love watching Ian Wright too as well. And see when I used to see them funny wee skits, them two together doing their wee funny jokes and all, that made me piss my pants with laughter. Them two were hilarious together. But Alan Shearer was a fantastic footballer, and I really did enjoy watching him back in the day. And I was so jealous that Newcastle had him as a player. But yes, Carson, Tony has never been to Newcastle's game, a Newcastle game. We were supposed to be getting them tickets for it. Was late 2019, early 2020, and then obviously COVID fucking hit. The person who was going to get us tickets Was involved in local Irish League football. I've known him for a couple of years, and unfortunately he passed away, which is not the fact that they get the tickets no more, the fact that he passed away. He just all of a sudden died out of nowhere. It was such a shame, but I said to Tony, you need to get to fucking Newcastle, because I would love the experience St James's Park, because apparently the atmosphere is incredible. Now here's the thing, whenever Lewis and I were in Lime Street, you mentioned he's seen us in the train station and stuff like that, we were considering going to Newcastle for the day, but then Lewis changed his mind at the last minute. I would love to go to Newcastle for the day, just to see the city and maybe catch a game and whatever else. So Carson, I will favourite your message, and if we're ever around the area, we'll definitely give you a shout, because we always hear about you Geordies like to drink the beer, so us Northern Ireland boys will give you a run for your money. I'll pass the message on to Tony as well, because Tony is busting to get to St James's Park, and I've always had a soft spot for Newcastle, always have, and you laugh there about them being third place and all this year. I'm glad to see it, because Newcastle's a massive club, and they're going to be in the Champions League next year, and I think it's fucking great for Newcastle. I think it's a great thing for them, and their old Champions League nights and all back in the day when Shearer and all was playing around, the atmosphere was fucking incredible, and I'm looking forward to seeing them in the Champions League next year. Okay, it might be in the Europa League next year, but here, listen, it's refreshing, and it's good to see. So it is. So, Carson, thanks for your message, I appreciate it. Right, let's go on to one more here before I head down the road here for another episode. Right, I've one here from Mary, who's from Bolton. Oh, and it's a football question. I'm about to get my balls busted here, I reckon. Mary says, hi Matthew, love your vlogs, love your YouTube channel. I noticed in one of your recent videos when you were away, you were saying you were supposed to go and watch Bolton play on the Tuesday night. Can I ask what changed your mind to come to Bolton Wanderers? Myself, my husband, my grandkids and my son are all season ticket holders, and we would love to have seen you at the game. What changed your mind about coming to the game on Tuesday night? My husband is from Northern Ireland. He is from just outside Belfast, but we met in the early 70s. I would just want to let you know that we love your YouTube channel. His cousins are from Bangor and still live in Bangor, hence why we came across your channel a couple of years ago when we were looking for videos of Bangor for him to watch back home. Next time you're in the Bolton area, please drop in for a game. We'd love to see you at our wonderful stadium. Take care, Mary. Do you want the truth? Lewis changed his mind. We were supposed to go and watch Bolton Wanderers against Accrington Stanley. I sat here the couple of days before we were going to the game. I actually ended up ringing the fucking ticket office at Bolton as well, because I had to sign up for a free account on their website to buy a ticket, and I was only letting me buy one ticket. So I rang the ticket office and said to them, can we not buy two tickets? And they went, no, one ticket per member. And I was like, fuck. So I had to set up another account to try and get the tickets together. I was about to buy them, and then Lewis was like, I don't know why I want to go now or not. I was like, oh my God, seriously. There's a train stop, guys, on the way to Blackpool that stops right outside Bolton's ground, and I've seen Bolton's ground a couple of times, and I've said to Lewis, we need to go to a game. There's 2 Northern Ireland players play for Bolton too as well. And I said to Lewis, we're in the area, jump on a fucking train. But then it was putting them off as well, and I'll be honest with you, Mary, on the way back, the last train was like 10 o'clock or something, like 10:15. And after that was a bus transfer, which was like an extra 40 minutes travel back to Liverpool. And he was like, don't want to get the bus back now, I want to get the train, I don't really want to go anymore. It's like, are you fucking serious? So when we come back on Tuesday from our trip on Tuesday, we actually watched the game. We sat in the apartment and watched the Bolton game, because I brought my Fire Stick with me and plugged it into the telly. I went onto the internet browser and looked around to see if I could find any streams for the game. I know it's illegal and stuff like that, but fuck it. And I found a link for the Bolton game, and I watched the Bolton game live, and they got beat. But I'm reason I didn't go to the game, because it was a great game. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So it did. But I hope that clears it up for you, because I wanted to go to the game. For me and him to go, it was only 25 quid, and I was really wanting to go. But point the finger at Lewis. Don't blame Daddy. Blame Lewis. Blame fucking Lewis. But yeah, we'll have to get the Bolton game next season, because at the ground, it's one of them ground. I still call it the Reebok Stadium, and I'd love to get there sometime. I really, really would. I would love to get there sometime, and see a game, because it looks like a class stadium. It really does. It's a really, from the outside, no, it looks a beautiful wee spot too as well. But there you go. Right, tell you what, I'll do one more before I go, because I've been recording here for over an hour, and by the time I get this out and stuff today and everything else, I got loads on today as well. Tuesday's always quite a busy day for me. I'll do one more before I go. Right, I've got one here from, where are we? Let's have a look here and see. Norman. Norman is from County Wicklow in Ireland. Hello, Norman. How you doing today? Thank you for your message on Instagram. I appreciate it. I know I really should go onto the Facebook messages, but I'll reply to them directly. Norman wants to know, hi Matthew, just recently came across your YouTube channel due to your videos in Dublin with your brother. You seem like two fun guys. Fuck, you don't know us. I'm only kidding. Just I've been sitting through your previous videos over the years and see you've been through quite a lot. As a father, struggling as a single parent, I'm sure it's quite hard. It can be sometimes, yeah, but it wouldn't change it for the world. Just wanted to let you know that I'm a single dad too as well. Unfortunately, back in 2016, my wife unfortunately passed away with a sudden illness and passed away and left me with two daughters, aged 6 and 7. The last lot of years have been so hard for me and struggling and hard to find other dads out there who are on their own as well. When I came across your YouTube channel back then, recently, it really put a smile on my face, knowing the fact that there's other daddies out there as well who struggle as hard as single moms do as well. I will continue to watch your channel on a regular basis because I think it's very motivating for me to help me turn me into a good dad just like yourself, and also bring up my kids and treat them with respect the way you do with your own. Keep up the great work. Thank you for taking your time to read this message, Norman. Wow. Whoa, that's a bit of a... Norman, I'm really sorry to hear about your wife, my friend. That's actually really sad. It's really, oh, wow. Really sorry to hear about that, my friend. It is hard being a single parent. I mean, obviously there's not just single dads out there, there's obviously single mums out there who struggle too as well, but wow. See guys, it's things like this I always say, you just don't know who's watching your videos, who's watching your podcast or listening to your podcast. Norman, all I can say to you is, my friend, all the respect in the world to you. I mean, obviously you lost your partner, and all I can say to you is just keep doing what you're doing with your kids, and obviously set a good example for them, and try and teach them and guide them, go down the right road, like I've tried to do with my two. Obviously you have your moments with them all, obviously, but all I can say is just enjoy every moment with them, because they grow up far, far, far too quick. I'm sure your wife would be very proud of you, the job that you're doing with your kids. And wow, that's, see emails like this, guys, and stuff like that there, it really hits home. So it does. So Norman, honestly, just keep doing what you're doing. I'm sure the kids worship the ground you walk on. They're proud of you, and they love you being their dad, and they're lucky to have you as a dad. And your wife would be very proud of you. I know obviously we don't know each other, but obviously you know who I am, but I've never seen you before. And wow, just keep being yourself, and just try and set that good example for your kiddies, because at the end of the day, they'll respect you more for it. I mean, I keep getting told this all the time. My mum tells me all this all the time too as well, especially when my kiddies are having a teenage moment or something like that, Like, give me an example at the minute, like Brooke's not all huggy like she used to be and stuff like that, but people keep telling me all the time, it'll come back. She'll come back where she wants her hugs off her daddy again. But yeah, Norman, honestly, just keep doing what you're doing, and the kids will be proud of you. And when they get older, they'll appreciate everything you've done for them. Like, people tell me that, and I sort of go, well, will they really? People's like, yeah, they will, because they know you've done everything for them. It is hard, Norman, especially when you're a man as well. And I'm not saying women, it's not hard for women too, but when you're a man, it's quite hard too as well, because, at the very start, I got the whole, it's not that often a man brings up a child on his own, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, no matter what it was, even if it was still with their mum, it would be like still doing the same things that I'm doing right now. So there's not much of a difference, to be quite honest. But Norman, listen, thank you so much for coming across us recently. And, if you ever need a chat, you've got my email. In fact, I'll actually send you an email back today. I'm sure you're probably listening to the podcast today as well, but I'll send you an email back as well. And if you ever need any help or advice or whatever, just give us a wee shout and I'll send you a message back. So Take care of yourself, Norman. I'll talk to you soon down the road, my friend. It's just messages like that, guys, gets me going. Honestly, I try and be positive and stuff like that, and then obviously you get messages like that sort of, even the other night there, the WWE show, I met a woman the other night there, and she was telling, or a couple, sorry, and they said that they had a son who has multiple disabilities, and he's bedridden, and he was 26 or 27. I think she said, her and the dad both said to me, and every time he sees me on the screen, or Brooke or Lewis, whatever, he claps his hands and he cheers, and I'm just like, wow, it's just things like that just literally fucking breaks my heart, but it motivates me. Go back to that earlier email earlier on there from that guy Ross. He was saying, I keep motivated. This book keeps me fucking motivated, guys. YouTube's helped me so much, like with my own mental health too as well. Being in front of a camera creates confidence for me as well. It helps me get through a bad day. If I'm on a shitty day, I can pick up a camera, I can pick up a microphone and talk. It's like a personal counselling session. But things like that, just it's crazy. So it is crazy. Right, guys, I want to head down the road here now. So once again, thank you very much for tuning in for another episode of the Mirami Podcast. On Thursday, we're back for another discussion of everything that's going on, everything that's in the news, more things that have been going on around the world, and also the Jackass of the Week is back this week. So if you have any suggestions, please email me, mirarmypodcast@yahoo.com. Get in touch with me on the social media. We'd appreciate guys' suggestions for Jackass of the Week for this week. So yeah, back on Thursday for another episode. Stay tuned for more vlogs coming up over the next couple of days. I'll probably be out doing a few walks over the next few days, so I might take the camera in on the out and about, and you'll see what I'm up to. Couple of nice vlogs coming up at the weekend too as well. I've got the Irish Cup final coming up this weekend. So yeah, stay tuned for that. So anyway, guys, if you're listening to us here on YouTube as well, don't forget to hit like and subscribe on this video. I would appreciate it. If you're listening to us on TuneIn Radio, hello again, TuneIn Radio. Please add us to your favourites while you're on Apple Music, Spotify, or whatever else. Thank you so much for all the streams, the downloads, etc., etc. It really does mean a lot to us. Don't forget, for all your merch and stuff, mirarmy.co.uk. So guys, I'm going to head to the road here now for an hour. I hope you all have a good Tuesday, Wednesday, and I'll see you back here on Thursday for another episode. So that's me. So until Thursday, guys, enjoy the rest of your Tuesday, your Wednesday, whatever else you get up to. Enjoy yourself. Be safe. Be careful. That email's just knocked me for 6 now. I'm going to have to go and contact that guy. So sad. Right, guys, until Thursday, be safe, be careful, and I'll see you all down the road, guys. See you all on Thursday. Thanks for listening, guys.